All right, Jenks, let's get it going. Do you want to bat lead off here with your first game of the weekend?
Sure, and I think, Chelsa, we got another squad play here. We were 2-0 in our squad plays last night in baseball. Oh, let go! Got another one here in college football. It's Arkansas +2 taking on Texas A&M at Jerry World, AT&T Stadium in Dallas. Let's be honest. I need to be honest with everyone. I don't like Texas A&M. Then again, now that I think about it, I don't like Arkansas either. The Texas A&M defense is no joke. I get that. Those guys on the defensive line are ballers. They can play. But their offense is anemic. They cannot move the football. I don't care if it's Haynes King or Max Johnson playing. Jimbo Fisher needs to do something with that offense, and you know he's never going to give up play calling. I was not impressed with Miami last week. Part of that has to do with the A&M defense. Part of it is I don't think the Canes are very good. This should be a dogfight. We're going to find out who the Aggies are after this weekend. I am not a believer yet. And the Razorbacks are 11-5 against the spread as a dog under head coach Sam Pittman. They beat the Aggies last year as a 5.5-point dog, or 4.5-point dog, I should say. Arkansas +2 against Texas A&M.
Yeah, I'm on that side as well because I think when it comes down to it in college football, if you have a really dynamic quarterback and a very good offense, sometimes it's a cheat code for even going against the best defenses in college football. And that is really what Texas A&M prides itself on, is their defense. Their offense has been very untrustworthy. They've had problems at quarterback. And I don't think it's a dynamic enough offense to keep up with this Razorback offense led by KJ Jefferson, who is dynamic not only through the air, completing 70.5% of his passes for 770 yards and 6 touchdowns so far this season, but also has 169 rush yards on the ground, one of the bigger quarterbacks in all of college football. Incredibly hard to stop, and especially behind a Arkansas rush attack that led the nation in rush yards last season. So I'll be on the Razorbacks as well, Jenks. Squad play.
Squad play. Let's do it. Let's both cash, Chelsa.
All right, kickoff for that one set for 7 at Jerry World in Dallas.
Pick six. Pick six.
All right, Jenks, staying in my home state of Tennessee for a big rivalry matchup between the Gators and the Vols. And listen, this is a huge spread in this one for a rivalry matchup. Tennessee favored by 10.5. The total set for 62.5, which is very high. This is the highest number of points that Tennessee has been favored by in this matchup in 50 years. That's right. This rivalry has been going on for a long time, and Tennessee has not been favored by much in most of these games. In fact, the last time they were favored by, a reasonable amount was 5 points. Last time in 2002, and they lost that game outright to Florida. Florida has owned this series. They've won 16 of the last 17 games, including 5 straight against Tennessee. If anybody has the number for Tennessee, it's Florida. So 10.5, I think, is way too many points in this one. I get it. Tennessee is this really dynamic offense. And honestly, I also like the first quarter over 13.5 or -120. I think both these offenses can score some points in the first quarter. The tempo for Tennessee is amazing. But if anybody can be an X factor in this game, I still believe that Anthony Richardson can get some yards and scramble for some first downs against this Tennessee defense. So I'll take the Gators plus 10.5 and also the first quarter over 13.5 for -120.
Chelsa, I have looked at this game backwards and forwards, and I just cannot get a read on it at all. At first, I leaned Tennessee. Then I was like you. I think Anthony Richardson can keep this thing close. I looked at the total, but it's really high, 62.5. It's a no play for me. Good luck to you. It's an afternoon kickoff on Saturday, set for 3:30 in Knoxville.
Pick six. Pick six.
All right. Let's settle in here and win some money. This is one of my favorite plays this weekend. Michigan hosting Maryland. The Wolverines laying 16.5 points. I know Michigan hasn't played anyone, but they should run all over the Terps. They've been blowing people out. Wolverines are the #1 rushing team in all of college football. They have 15 touchdowns already on the ground this season. They have a fantastic defense that has allowed just 17 points all season long. That's the real difference here, and the trends are in their favor. Michigan 13-3 against the number in their last 16 games. Maryland is 3-8 against the spread in its last 11. The money has come in on Michigan. I think this number gets to 17. Michigan minus 16.5 versus the Terps.
Ugh, you want to root for Michigan, do you? I'm not a big Jim Harbaugh guy, but I will root for you because you are my teammate, and that's what we do here on the show. If you want to watch that one, it is a noon kickoff on Saturday at the Big House.
Pick six. Pick six.
All right, Jenks, let's head out west for a Pac-12 showdown between Arizona and Cal. We've got the Bears laying 3 at home here and minus 165 on the money line. Total set at 50.5. This is another kind of a rivalry game, and Arizona has owned this matchup. This line started at 5. It has moved down to 3 because we've seen money come in on Arizona. 85% on the money is on Arizona right now. And also, most of the money, 99% of the money on moneyline bets is on the Cats. If you look at Arizona, they've really owned this matchup since 2009. They have not lost a single game against Cal. I get it. Cal is really solid defensively this season under Justin Fuente, but they are far from an offensive juggernaut and not a team that I'm willing to trust against this team that clearly owns some real estate in their dome. So I'm going to go Arizona getting the points here. Arizona plus 3.
I like that play. Do you remember it was not that long ago, like a year and a half ago, where you could fade Arizona like every single week and just make piles of money because they were so bad? I mean, like unspeakably bad, like not as bad as UConn. But remember, there was that space too for a few months during college football season the past couple of years where if you faded UConn, you were a winner. You'd fade the Wildcats, you were a winner. I miss those days. I love finding those teams that just suck, and some of them suck under the radar, and you can make money fading them. But Arizona has gotten much better. So I'm with you on that, Chelsea. It's a different Zona team now. I'm with you on the Wildcats plus 3. It's a late afternoon kickoff in Berkeley tomorrow, set for 5:30.
Pick six. Pick six.
I'm betting this game because I cannot believe this total is so low, and I got to do it out of principle, out of pure fun. Iowa at Rutgers. The total is set at 34. Think about that for a second. A total of 34, and I'm betting the under in this game. Yeah, you heard me. I'm going under 34. The Iowa offense is absolutely putrid. Just a bunch of snails on the football field. They don't move the football at all. But their defense is really, really good. They allow just 4.3 points per game, and that defense is facing a Rutgers offense that has scored 17 points or less in 9 of its last 13 games. Also, and Matt Pisani, one of our producers, will know this because he's a Rutgers guy, the Scarlet Knights also run one of the slowest offenses in the country. So not only are they facing a really strong defense, they just want to take time off the clock, maybe run the football and just wind the clock down. This is going to be brutal to watch, but I'm going to watch it because I want to see a slugfest. I'm going under 34 points between the Hawkeyes and the Scarlet Knights. This is going to be like 17-13, something like that, and it's going to cash. Let's go.
I would make fun of you for playing this game, such a dumpster fire of a game.
It is.
But I am somebody who has bet on the UConn Huskies to cover a number in no-name games, so I respect it. I think if there's an angle, you'll play it. It doesn't matter how trash the matchup. And Matt was, I feel like he's laughing right now. He said in the chat, they put up only 201 yards of offense against Temple. That's really bad. 201 in college? That is absolutely terrible.
Oh, my God. Matt, you have to put this in the chat. Am I wrong? I know you like Rutgers plus 7.5, and I do too. I would be all over that. But do you like the under or over? I know that is a stupid low total, but I'm curious because Matt is a very good bettor as well. He follows Rutgers. Would you go over or under 34 points here? And he says under. He's not going to play it, but he would lean under. I get it. It's hard. But you know what I think too, Chelsea? I think people are going to see this number and almost bet the over on principle. even if you don't know much about Iowa and Rutgers, how in the world do you have to have the stones to bet the under? I'm going to be that guy. Somebody's going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and there's one more game that I kind of had my eye on, but it didn't
Sure.
really make the picks. What do we think of Clemson and Wake Forest? Because right now Wake Forest getting 7.5, an offense that really can get it going, but also I have bet on Wake Forest and they did not cover. I think it was last week. Jenks, do you think Wake can keep it close with Clemson?
I do. Wake plus 7.5. I need to see more from that Clemson offense than I've seen. And I know this is another year for DJ Uiagalelei to come alive and be that guy. But I think Wake with Sam Hartman at quarterback can keep it close enough. And I love that it's over the key number. So I will take the Deeks at plus 7.5.
And how do you feel about your Texas Longhorns this week? Do you think they cover?
I don't know. That line has moved from Texas -5 to Texas -7. I might lay it with Texas, but I don't think Quinn Ewers is going to play. It's going to be Hudson Card. I'm going to stay away.